we recording? There we
We
go.
are. There
All
we
right.
go.
So welcome everyone to another special live inside Magical Christmas Markets of Europe group. I think it's so great that the group has gotten so large and so engaged that we had to make it a show. So welcome everyone. Today I'm so excited to bring in a new partner of ours, GoWay Travel. And if you don't know who they are a company that specializes in creating European travel experiences, and they're here today to help us discover even more ways to experience the magic of Europe. And what I love about bringing travel partners like GoWay into the community is that you get to hear from these great experts and learn things that can help you plan smarter and travel better and make the most of your time in Europe. So I am your host, Sally Kertes. I'm the creator of the Magical Christmas Markets of Europe group. And if you're not a member, you can go on over into Facebook and join, which that way you won't miss these wonderful live presentations. Also, all of our members receive exclusive savings and amenities with our travel partners. Together with my husband, Scott, we own Vacations by Design, which is the company behind the group and allows the relationships that I have with these great travel partners like GoWay that you'll hear from today. So again, jump in the group and join. You can also reach out to me anytime. I'm the admin, so you can find me in the group, or my email, I believe, is up in the featured section. We have a podcast of the same name, Magical Christmas Markets of Europe, and that you can find that streaming on all podcast platforms. And I'm excited to announce that we have a new dedicated website, which should be up and running by the end of the month, which is www.magicalchristmasmarkets.com. But without further ado, let me introduce our wonderful guests today. From GoWay Travel, we have Allison, who is our strategic account manager. So her and I will work together to help you with your travel plans. And then also we have the vice presidents of Europe at GoWay, Mark and Risa. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thanks, Sally.
Thanks, Sally. It's great to meet everyone, and thank you for taking the time to talk about GoWay. We can get started actually, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
All right. So today, what we'll do, we'll just quickly cover, who we are as a company, what we do in Europe, and how we can stand out, and how we can be different, and what is our relationship with Sally. How does this all work for us? We'll cover that in a bit. And we've got some interesting topics today, including things like, destination dupes. Like, what does that mean? How can we support river cruising? Because that is one of the biggest thing in Europe right now is river cruise. So what can you do to support that? We love doing self drives in Europe. It can be intimidating, but when done properly, it's very, very good, as well as things like rail journeys, and how does that come along? And then we'll wrap it up with some insider tips from myself and Risa. So just as an introduction, once again, thanks, Sally. My name is Mark. I'm one of the VPs for Europe, and I'm with...
My name is Risa. I am the other VP for Europe. We have such a large team, and yeah, so that's why there's two of us here. Happy to be here and meet you all.
And Allison will maybe just give us a quick preview of history of GoWay. We've been around a long time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And I really appreciate both of you being here today and supporting this. I'm really excited for the information we're going to share. So yeah, GoWay is really special. We have been around since 1970, and our owner and founder still owns and operates the company. He still goes into the office about 5 to 6 days a week. This picture here is his family. So it's a family affair. We have his children growing up in the company, taking roles within it. So that's something that really resonates with me, and one of the reasons I love working for GoWay. Really, what we offer is those tailor-made, customized, built from scratch experiences. We have offices, and you can see here in a few different areas, such as Toronto, Los Angeles, Sydney. So we're not a one size fits all, and we really partner with Sally and our travel advisors to really help curate those special moments. We do, whether it's like a custom individual group or a larger group, we can help build them all and have expertise in all. And what's great is working with us as well, you get 24/7 in destination support. So when you're traveling, you have at your fingertips support. So here we go. We have a little history. Bruce was an economist in Australia, and he moved to Canada. That's where he started the big GoWay journey. And then through the 90s, we added Africa, the islands, we added air. And basically, we've just grown immensely over the years. We now have over 800 employees across the different destinations, and we're supporting. Can you go to the next slide? I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to. Oh, I missed it. Basically, we go to Europe. We are Europe specialists, but we specialize in the world. So I like to say we customize the world, focusing on over 116 different countries. So we can help you with Europe, Sally, and we can help you with the rest of the world too. But
That's
today
great.
we're focusing on Europe.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And we just wanted to say, at GoWay, there's different ways to travel with us, and we'll talk about this a little bit. It could be anywhere from private guided touring, so where you get your own private guide, or you can join a small shared tour of about 16 or 20 passengers, or if you got someone that's a little bit more budget conscious, we can do escorted tours. We could also we call them road trips, is our self-drive product. We can do rail journeys, boutique cruising, or even those bigger groups, as Allison mentioned. So we'll talk about this concept, because I think it's great that we have that ability to do all these different things, right?
I will mention too, Mark, sorry to interrupt, like the world is your oyster. So you have a dream that you want to do, like a dream trip to Europe, talk to Sally. Our default answer is yes, we can. So work with Sally and we can help her support your dream trips.
Absolutely.
Sure.
It's funny in the group, our background has always been river cruises, which is how I discovered the Christmas markets. But so many people want to travel in different ways, like you spoke about the rail journeys, or maybe pre and post if they are on a cruise, or escorted tours. So it's great to be able to have all of those ways to offer the guests. So anything that you're thinking of, you can let me know, and Allison and I will figure out how to get you over there the right way.
Awesome.
So yeah, no, I agree with everything that you guys are saying. And, just to peel back before we get into all of that great product and all the different options that you have, I just want to share with you some of the behind the scenes of what's happening on our side. So as the slide correctly says, our destination specialists are the secret sauce. So this is really what, customization, if you're looking for something that is unique, if you're looking for something that is different, we have destination specialists that are working directly with Sally to provide you with those types of options. On the Europe team, we have about 60 destination specialists to help you. They have either lived, worked. We actually send our staff out once a year to experience the destination at hand. So, this is a picture that was recently taken last year. They were in Spain. And just some areas, I know everybody is looking at TripAdvisor and, all the different websites. We actually have an excellent standing on Trustpilot. So this is verified reviews from our direct customers. So, what, we're always trying to improve, but one of the ways that I think that has worked for us in the past is to give you that confidence is that we send our destination specialists out in the field. Here are just some lovely photos, again, from some of our trips that our destination specialists have taken. They've gone to Greece, that's in Mykonos at the top there, Spain. This is the Baltic region, which is a hidden gem, up and coming region. Obviously, we have Rome. Jacqueline there is a native of Italy. We have Ireland, I believe, and then another exciting experience. We had some of our staff do some truffle hunting in Italy. So if you've ever tried that, I've done it in France myself. It's quite a unique experience. So again, our destination specialists not only sell it, but they live it, they experience it, and yeah, they can provide that information to Sally, who again can help you book what you're looking for.
And we also just love to give a shout out to our, what we call them, commercial managers or product managers. Europe is a vast continent. There's so many products, so many hotels, so many experiences. How do you narrow it down to make it a viable tourism product? This is where our commercial managers come in. We have Lydia and Paul. They go in, they do a lot of these research, they inspect hotels for us to make sure that they're viable. They check out behind the scenes things that can bubble up, how you can make that experience great while traveling in Europe. I love this photo of Paul. It looks like a very odd photo. That's actually Paul with the Director General of the Eiffel Tower. So this is this is the elevator room at the Eiffel Tower. So he's getting a behind the scenes sneak peek of how the Eiffel Tower operates, run by the Director General. So these are just some of the things that we can bubble up for your clients doing these research, because it's hard, right? You don't always have the time to do that, but we have the staff to make it work, right? So how does this all work for you guys? For us, Sally is the main point of contact. She makes it happen for you. We just do all the back end stuff. We'll do all the grunt work, the research for the hotels, assembling the packages together, making sure the logistics work. So you can come out of this presentation and just take off that GoWay logo, because we work for Sally. She is the one that will truly make it happen, and we will try to fit the tours and the excursions based on the profile of the guest that's joining her. All right. Of course. So here, we'll do a bit of a deep dive on Europe. So I know this is a Christmas market group. So one of our most popular destinations in terms of Christmas market is Germany, specifically our Berlin and Dresden combo. So a lot of you guys would have been familiar with this. In Berlin, specifically the Gendarmen market in Berlin is super popular. It's a great place to start off. It's a great entry point. But then I think where something like this bubbles up is in Dresden. You know, they call it Florence of the Elbe for a reason, with its Baroque architecture. But the Streiselmarkt, it's one of the oldest Christmas markets that dates back to 1400. It's almost 600 years running, is the star of the show. So this is a great combo that we love to recommend to clients, and it's very easy to add in Bavaria. You can cross over to the rest of Central Europe. Germany is very centrally located. So a lot of our itineraries that feature Christmas market, we put this on the spotlight. And since we do customized travel, we venture out from there, right? And with Christmas markets, we can offer it in all the different destinations. I know typically you mentioned, Sally, you guys do a lot of river cruising. So we can take it beyond the cities that are on the main rivers, right? So the popular ones on the Danube, like Prague and Budapest. I believe you guys know that very well. You know, you have the chimney cake in Budapest and the Christmas markets. And then in Basel, you have the Rhine. So these are your kind of iconic Christmas markets, as well as Munich. But we also love the ones that you don't often hear about, like the ones in Copenhagen, on the top left there, Tivoli Gardens, or I think some of our staff recently went to Tallinn,
Estonia.
in Estonia, and they said that has been some of the most amazing. You don't expect it from Tallinn, but they said it was so warm and cozy, and you really felt that Christmas spirit, because it's not, often talked about. So we love selling those destinations.
Love that. And it's probably less crowded too than, one of the big, it's so popular now that many times the big cities are super, super populated. So Tallinn is a little bit, slower and just nice and quiet. I don't want to say it's quiet, but quieter.
And we're big fans of it, Sally. We love as much as we can recommend the Baltic region. We love it because we feel like it's so underappreciated.
Right.
But I think we're on the same boat there.
We have experts now that actually have been there and have seen it and could really speak and give their expertise. I've not been to Estonia, so I mean,
That's great.
So what we'll do next, so that's the Christmas market. Let's take us beyond the Christmas markets, because I think this is also very important because Europe, as you guys know, is a year-round destination. So we want to just showcase some of our most popular destinations and show you how GoWay does it differently, right? Starting with things like, our classic France itinerary. This is one of your most common routing, which is Paris, Provence, and the French Riviera. How we make it different is we sprinkle a lot of these unique experiences, like adding skip the line access in the Eiffel Tower, doing chocolate and pastry tours, wine and cheese pairing. We take you out to the countryside, and we make sure to visit Monaco. We're in the French Riviera. Everyone will do France, right? It's one of the most popular countries in the world in terms of tourism. But there's always a way to spin that a little bit differently to make it just a destination to a full-on travel experience. And what we love about this is all customized. What you're going to see here are just some of our sample itineraries that we love to promote. But at the end of the day, when you guys come to Sally, you tell us what you want to do. We will curate it with these experiences based on what you're interested in. So for instance, in London and Edinburgh, I actually took this photo of my guide a few months ago. We can curate London where you're doing a lot of classic rock angle, you're doing the Beatles sites, or you can do tea at Harrods. This one we're at Stirling Castle with this amazing guide. And then in Edinburgh, I did a Mini Cooper tour to see the city. So there's a lot of ways you can make those popular cities into a different way of touring. That's how we see it here at GoWay. And even things like, in Ireland, we love doing a self-drive in Ireland, especially taking on the Wild Atlantic Way, right? For me, Ireland is all about that Irish charm and going into small villages and listening to music at the pub and meeting the locals. One way to really get that out of Ireland is to do a self-drive. So we will plan all of that for you so that you can see it your way.
You're actually, as you're talking, Mark, you're actually taking me back because, if you haven't traveled to Europe, but some of the earlier days, I actually did that chocolate and pastry tour in Paris, and it is a unique tour. But what I love about it is it's really thoughtful because it takes you to one of the most sort of less touristic areas in Paris. So, I think that's the type of expertise that our destination specialists can provide you. This one is another one of our best sellers. Greece is so popular. For good reason, island hopping. This particular one, Athens, Mykonos, Paros, and Santorini. These are your top islands. Definitely Mykonos and Santorini, but we sprinkled in Paros. It's a little less known than the other islands, but it is a hidden gem. It's somewhere. It's in the Cycladic. Islands, and it gives you just again a different flavor. We can almost do any routing of island hopping. So yeah, this is just one of the options that you have. Classic Italy. We can't talk about Europe without talking about probably our number one itinerary. Again, Rome, Florence, Venice, this is just your classic itinerary. We can take this, we can add more nights, we can add in Santorini, which is the south of Italy, onto this. But again, we can take this classic itinerary. We'll put in the main highlights, which is the Colosseum, Vatican, going to Florence and meeting David. And of course, in the background, you see lovely Venice. So again, we can customize it to many different options, even doing that truffle hunting that you saw earlier. And then another hot destination that we have is classic Spain. This one has been so popular. Madrid, Barcelona, and Sevilla, which is in the south of Spain. I mean, it's, we give you the essentials, a private touring, a flamenco tour. So that in flamenco was born in the south of Spain. Food tours have been so popular all throughout our regions. In almost every of our major cities, I'm going to guess that we have at least 1 or 2 food tours that we can sell. So this is a small group. Yeah,
and eating is a big part of traveling.
Eating is a big part of traveling, exactly.
So one of the things that we talked about, because Europe being so popular, is this whole concept of dupe destinations, right? Lisa, maybe you can tell us more about dupe destinations.
Yeah, duplicate destinations. I think, the environment has changed a little. People are looking for going outside of the main areas. I love Rome, Florence, Venice, but let's face it, they're busy all year round. So I think we, as a company, we know that, and we can offer you different types of destinations. So Santorini, I love Santorini. It's one of the most must-see islands in Greece, but I mean, it is also very busy, very populated year-round. We can offer you Naxos or Milos. These are some of the lesser known islands. You get the same vibe of the Cycladic islands, the whitewashed buildings, but of course, less tourists, a little bit more local. And this is what I love about, some of these duplicate destinations. Venice, I could go to Venice all the time, but let's face it, it is crowded wall to wall if you've ever been there. Instead of Venice, this is Slovenia. Slovenia is another hidden gem that we offer. We started offering Slovenia a couple years ago. It is literally bordering Venice. Some of our 2-hour drive. Some of our clients actually fly into Venice and then drive over the border and go to Slovenia. It's just really cute medieval towns. It's bordering Austria, so you get that alpine mountains. Very sustainable destination. Another popular destination that is really, really popular is Iceland. And instead of Iceland, we can promote Greenland, which is a new and upcoming destination. I think they just started, there were new flights were offering. It's still a growing destination, but again, it's probably what Iceland looked like maybe
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So we have partners in all of these duplicate destinations that, again, if you're looking for something different to try. Barcelona, I'm actually heading there in September. Lovely city, amazing city, but instead of Barcelona, we can try the north of Spain, which is something that is not sold quite a lot, but it borders France. So San Sebastian or Valencia on the coastline, 2 very, again, livable cities, but it's an alternative to, if you've been to Barcelona, try something new, go to the coast or to the north of Spain. And then I think we have one more, don't we? Oh, of course, the Amalfi Coast. I can never get enough of the Amalfi Coast. You have to go there, you have to see it. But instead of the Amalfi Coast, Puglia is another up-and-coming destination. This is the boot of Italy. Very local, actually. A lot of locals go to Puglia for their vacations, but it's now becoming an international tourist destination. So again, we have a lot of different products, services, and destinations that you can try if you've been to the popular ones.
Have you ever seen Puglia at Christmas? It is they decorate all of that beautiful area that you just showed is decorated in Christmas decorations, and it's absolutely beautiful. I can highly recommend
no, I
that.
haven't.
Yeah, so if you want to do some off-season Italy, that's a great way to go.
Great way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Moving on, a little bit on river cruise support. I know Sally is the specialist in river cruising. Quite frankly, we're not specialists in river cruising, but where we excel in as a company is the land portion. So a lot of the times we often actually get requests for pre and post river cruising. And this is where we can help you guys, when you're doing the Rhine, we can do pre and post in Amsterdam or Basel. We've got some great products there that matches the theme of your touring. Likewise, the same with Danube. when you're crossing over to Prague and Budapest, we can help with that as well. Douro is becoming super popular as well. So Porto, Lisbon, great hubs for us where we can do a lot of those experiences that we talked about earlier. And of course, not just river cruising, but the Mediterranean cruising as well. We're seeing that more and more. Our footprint in Venice and in Athens and those areas are very good. Going back to the concept of, when you do your pre and pros, you might want to do private guided or small shared. We can accommodate that.
And this also
what I was-
includes.
Oh,
sorry.
I was going to say Sally's raising her hand.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to ask if, and I think you might have answered my question. So these are customizable.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big plus. If you're on a river cruise and they offer a pre and post, you're beholden to wherever it is that they are. And a lot of people may want to go, to a different area that isn't applicable to the sailing. So to be able to add on a pre or post through GoWay is, I think, going to be a popular way to go.
Yeah, especially like those Christmas markets that are like not close by, right? So I think that's a great way to tap into it too, is getting off and venturing out.
Yeah, to like those little smaller villages and areas, and sometimes they're not reachable by train. So to have a pre and post with you that's great.
And we would organize the transfers, be flexible with the transfers, book the accommodations, not just those tours, the private transfers, and
also look at, for instance, if the cruise program will already include some excursions in some of those ports, we want to make sure we don't duplicate those activities if you're adding the pre and post. I think that's super important when you're talking about logistics so that your clients don't double up on their activities.
That's a great point.
So pre and post, that's where, we're not cruise experts, but we can do the land portion. Pre and post. Self-drive.
Yeah, I mean, self-drive, it's not for everybody, but definitely it's for some people. If you've been to Europe before and maybe, you've got your feet wet and you feel confident, which areas I think are good for self-drives. So we offer a lot of itineraries. Again, our destination specialists can advise you on, which countries, which areas are best for self-drives. We've just named a few here. Ireland, Scotland. I mean, we showed this presentation to somebody and they said, oh my God, I'm an Outlander fan. So we'll do themes. We have different themes like that. In the Algarve, if you've ever been to the south of Portugal, I mean, it's so easy. It's pretty flat. Tuscany and Umbria. I mean, this is, again, if you maybe have a little bit of experience, it's pretty easy to drive. The Romantic Road is one of the most famous in Germany, and the Dalmatian coast. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's all about that coastline. Roads are in good condition. Our destination specialists can advise you, yes, no, what you need, international driving license,
vehicle types, activities that you can do along the way. And going back to the concept of mixing and matching, we're also seeing some itineraries that we book where, you might do a small shared or private guided in the main cities, but then as you continue on, you just self-drive for 3 or 4 days for a portion of it to get to the next one, and then you do private guided again, right? That's the beauty of customized travel, especially if you have clients that are a little bit more adventurous.
That's exactly what
great.
I did. Yeah,
That's
I
great.
spent time in Rome and then we rented a car and drove up to Umbria, which
Wow.
was, more accessible because there are areas that don't have good access with trains. So, I mean, we'll give you options of how you can get around and get the most of your trip.
Yeah.
Wonderful. The Romantic Road is super popular for the Christmas markets, and that is if you're a little bit more adventurous, it's so good to know that you're there to help them craft it. So that if they have any questions, wonderful.
Sally, I actually just had someone reach out to get support on a Christmas market, that specific route you were just talking about, and then they layered in I have family history and ancestry in there, and they were able to help the traveler get to see some of like the iconic places that their like ancestors stepped foot in too. So it was like such a cool outcome of like how they were able to get so many different parts of that experience into one trip with still making it like viable and accessible. So I just thought I'd mention that because that was like my little anecdote.
That's amazing. Yeah, we have a lot of military actually that are stationed in Germany, or maybe their grandfather or father served there so many years ago, and they've been talking about these, the markets and these areas, the romantic road, their whole lives, and now they're able to bring their kids and their grandkids. It's very emotional way to travel, and it's just so special. So that I'm so excited to put this in front of everyone.
Awesome. And if you don't want to drive, you can always take the train, because
that would be me.
Yeah, exactly. And we love the train journeys. And I think the way we look at train journeys, we kind of break it down into different things, right? Because there are what you would call, your Eurorail multi-country passes, because there's so many ways that you can book those passes. What's the most effective, which ones have seat selections. But that's the stuff that Lisa and I spend so much time on our day-to-day. Hey, how can we make this experience comfortable for our clients? Because those flex passes and how they operate needs to be taken into consideration, especially on, multi-train system journeys. So we were very good at that. But then there's also these grander scenic rail journeys, like the photo that you saw there in Switzerland, like things like the Glacier Express and the Bonita Express, which we absolutely love doing. And a lot of these pair really well with Christmas markets when they're operating in the winter. And those are more holistic journeys from end to end that tells a great story from start to finish. Or it could also even be used as just city connection, part of, and this is the behind the scenes kind of secret that we talk about. We've got some great contracting team that negotiates really good rates with the rail systems. So in a lot of these point-to-point connections, sometimes you get preferential rates in them, and we love to include those in the itineraries. Or what we're also seeing is the combo that we talked about. Some will do self-drive and then do a rail journey, so you can really mix and match, and that's so easy to do in Europe.
That's wonderful.
It's very logistics planning, and this is what our team does all the time. It really does make a difference, because somebody wants to do 5 countries. Well, we can advise you maybe that's not doable, and give you the best options. So yeah, give you the best experience.
I think a lot of Americans too, they don't realize how our rail system isn't anything like it is over in Europe, and so
exactly. Yeah.
So it's a great way to go. And like you said, many times it is very easy to coordinate going to many different places. But again, exactly what you said, you don't want to go to too many places, and you need somebody to make sure that you're doing it the right way. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a totally different experience. I mean, that's why we send our staff out in the field to experience it, and what to look for in European train stations.
Even, we always talk about this in Switzerland. It's a great example, because we basically train our staff to teach our clients how to use the app, because that whole train system runs on the SVB Switzerland app, and you have to know how to use it. In 5 minutes, you'll figure it out. But to explain to our guests that, hey, download this app, you're going to look at these 3 things, and then you got access to the entire Swiss rail network. So that's the stuff that we're here to support. So we're just coming into the tail end of this presentation. We'll talk about what's new in 2026, some exciting stuff in Europe and within our company.
Yeah, so we have a lot that's new this year. I mean, one of the big things that is new, if you've gone onto our website, www.goway.com, you can see a plethora of trips. I think we probably have about maybe over 1,000 trips on our website. How do you navigate this? What do I look for? So we've hopefully made it a little bit easier by redesigning the website. One of the biggest things that you will see are these travel styles, because we know that people are sure, they want to go to Italy, sure, they want to go to Ireland, but also too, I mean, now it's getting a little bit more experiential. People are really into food, you know, going out and visiting places or Christmas markets. I mean, you have your Christmas market group here. So we've really tried to tailor our packages to meet some of these travel styles and inspire travel. So again, I mean, there's a whole selection of trips you can choose from. All are customizable to your needs, but we've chosen a select few that, yeah, that would really inspire you to choose Sally and to choose GoWay.
Yeah, and just think of our website as a storefront, because what we sell is intangible, right? It's all the ideas and experiences. So we call it our storefront because there's so many things that you can do, and we really love to use it as inspiration. So you start from there, and then you tell us what you want to do, and then we'll craft it for you. So these are just some of the things that are new that we've assembled. You'll see these are mostly thematic tours.
Yeah, so I mean, the first one, again, Italy, I can go back to Italy over and over again, but this one, Romance in Tuscany and Rome. Again, I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's not that easy to get around Tuscany, but we've put it together a package combining these two amazing areas, put together some really specific, unique tours for romance, so you can do this. Honeymooners, romance, doesn't matter, or if not romance, you can still do these programs. But yeah, I mean, wine tours, thermal spa visits, private dinner in Chianti vineyards are just a few of the samples that we've put here. One of the sort of newer sort of active and adventure journeys that we have, Camino de Santiago. So Camino de Santiago is a famous pilgrimage route. Some of you may have heard of it or actually even done it yourself in France, Portugal, and Spain. This one is particularly in Spain, and it's a self-guided journey that does the last 100 kilometers of the Camino de Santiago. So we can put together a program. Again, what you see on our website is just the suggested. So this is 7 days. You can actually do it for, 7 days is sort of the minimum, but you can tailor make it to however you want. Another area of interest is we know that there's a lot of women that are traveling on their own, solo women's journey. We put together this 12-day package. It's called Portugal Unveiled. Yeah, it's a really curated package. This one actually is an escorted small group program. So there's only a few dates, limited dates on this one, but it's a lot of the experiences are geared towards those women travelers that, again, want to travel and want to venture out, but want to do it in the safety of like a group and a curated program.
Do you have several solo options? Because we have a lot of it's a big. I get asked about it quite a lot for solo travelers. That's great.
It is growing. Yeah, and we do have it. I mean, this is Europe's solo women's, but we have different solo trips around the world, with GoWay.
Okay. And I think we're like trying to curate more, right, along the way too.
We are,
potentially. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely. And then the last one that I'll speak about, I mean, festivals and events. So we know that, travel is really popular. This one in particular, I mean, if you've ever heard of the fireworks in Madeira, it's world famous. So in this package, it's 7-night accommodations. You get the gala dinner, which is not easy to come by, so it's not easy to actually book on your own. And then some day tours and just to see the island of Madeira. So again, looking for those experiences: food, wine, active adventure, solo travel, festivals and events. And I think this one is another one for active.
Yeah, exactly. In the Finnish Lapland, this is one where you stay at these iconic glass igloos of Kakslautinen, and this one actually is paired up with their cabin property in like super remote part of the Arctic. But this is for your adventure clients. If you want to go snowmobiling, dog sledding, ice carts, cross-country skiing while you see the northern lights. You meet the local Sami people, so a lot of that indigenous community that's becoming so popular, and you can talk about reindeers. And, of course, if you travel right around Christmas, going back to that Christmas market theme, you can finish off and see Santa Claus. Right? It's actually world
Yay!
famous.
I
But this
love
is something
that.
that is becoming very, very popular. The Finnish,
Yeah.
the Lapland in general, is
Beautiful.
because there's it's a little bit difficult to put together. So there's that allure of being remote, not a
Yeah.
lot of people. But then when you get there, you're like, wow, this is one of the last frontiers of the world.
I
So
feel
we
like
love
these
this.
are the ones you see on like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you're like, but I want to do that, but how do I actually get there?
How do you do it?
You know?
Exactly. So we
Now
just
we
sent
know.
Paul,
You
we
can.
sent Paul Holinati to actually do some research on how we could connect the rest of the Arctic from Kalksladen, and this is the outcome of that project. So yeah, we're doing a lot of the grunt
Fabulous.
work. Or
If I
Norway's
could bring my
becoming,
kids, when my kids were little, if I could bring them there for Christmas,
oh, they would love
I
it.
oh
know.
my gosh,
Yeah.
I'd be crying the whole time.
Right?
Exactly. And then Norway is becoming super popular for us
Yeah.
as well, cruising the fjords. With this one is paired up with Hurtigruten, but we bookended it with some experiences in Oslo and Bergen. So
Right.
those are just some of the new things that we've been working on, but this is one of our last slides. Just some insider tips from Risa and I, because we manage the team. I think you mentioned this not too long ago, Sally. Don't forget about shoulder season travel. Everyone wants to go in July and August, but March and May is great time to go in the spring.
Yes.
October, November is really good, especially we find in the Nordics, because that's when you're just transitioning. In some cases, you might even be able to see the northern lights while seeing the fall foliage. Right, so that's a great time of the year to go.
Mark, do any of the shoulder seasons overlap with the start of like the Christmas markets? Like, are we starting to see Christmas markets
November.
in
Yeah.
late November? Okay.
Tail end of November, you'll start seeing it.
Okay.
So what
Interesting.
some people will do, they'll do kind of a little bit more that last week of November and then finish off their touring when the Christmas market opens in December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoulder season is amazing time to travel. Again, the main high peak season for travel in Europe is April through October traditionally, but the shoulder season is great. I mean, temperate weathers, less crowds. I mean, there's so many benefits to traveling during these periods. Mix and match. I mean, I hope you get the idea that we can customize a lot of different programming, whether you want to do private or shared groups, escorted programs, or if you're a little bit more adventurous, self-drive. What I think that I want to emphasize is, again, our destination specialists can provide that expertise. When we were talking about active adventure, we're not, doing cliff jumping or anything like that. But it is really, active, soft adventure,
Get your legs moving.
something that's accessible to everybody. So I just want to emphasize again, like there's so many different options that we can offer.
Yeah. And ask us about restaurant recommendations. When you travel, a third of what you do when you're traveling is eating. And what we've always emphasized to our team, and we send them out to restaurants, try it. And we've got a long list of restaurant recommendations of places that we love and maybe not like so much, and reasons why. You could go Michelin star dining in a lot of cities in Europe, but you can also do the smaller pubs that's home cooked and fresh. So we've got a lot of those recommendations. I always say it doesn't cost us anything to recommend good restaurants. Let's not forget about eating.
Yes. That's a big
So
one.
important.
Yeah,
That's
My
great.
favorite hobby.
exactly.
I think so.
And then also we love the lesser known Christmas markets, like in the Baltics and Poland.
Mhm.
We're seeing a lot more traction in these places, and we're starting to send a lot of our staff so that they can really understand the logistics of it all. But don't forget about those ones too. Baltics and Poland have been really big on our radar.
Yeah, those are popular. And you know what else is up and coming? A little tip for you. The Easter markets. So if you don't want to
Easter
travel when
markets, yeah.
they're not as big and as popular as the Christmas markets, obviously, but it's the same vendors usually,
Yeah.
the same areas, but not cold and not raining and not
Ah.
snowing. So, that's an option too. And they're really, really pretty, and they're up and coming in popularity.
The festivals around them. I mean, in Spain, it's a
It's
huge
huge,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
for
that's
sure.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I was gonna
love
say
all
we
of
also
this.
have alpine expertise. We have quite a lot of our staff, and I love calling them out because they are the true experts that have traveled, in Switzerland all the way to Innsbruck and the Dolomites and the Pyrenees and French Alps. Because sometimes you don't we look at Europe as cities. Those main cities, but we don't look at the mountains in Europe, and it's gorgeous. That's where you can, when you have the right touring, you can mix some soft adventure with some culture in the main cities. I always say, don't forget about the Alpine side of Europe. We can help with that as well.
That's great.
And something else to not forget is time at leisure. I mean, to enjoy the destination. So I know we're throwing at you a lot of different options, food tours and mountain climbing, and but we always suggest, and I mean, our destination specialists will also sprinkle in some of those day at leisure for you to enjoy the destination, because it's when you're out on your own, when you're connecting with the local people, that's when sort of it embeds and you have great memories. So we always position ourselves, again, we want to sell you, but at the same time, we want you to have that good experience. Understanding the new EES system, which is the electronic exit entry system that was implemented for Europe earlier this year. Again, I mean, it's still ongoing. Call us. We'll provide you with that information. How's it going? And
we're on it like every day
Yes.
just to see the logistic question there, Sally. I mean, for us is, when your plane arrives, sometimes it could take you 1 to 2 hours by the time you get out, and we got to make sure that we tell the transfer company that you better wait, don't leave the client.
Right.
So we're hyper aware of that situation right now. Luckily, we haven't had a lot of instances, but that's where having a really good product team negotiate with our suppliers and say, hey, make sure when a GoWay client lands, your guys are waiting.
Taken care of in
Yeah,
destination.
it's very important. I give my cell phone and WhatsApp to all of my guests too. So if it's 4:30 in the morning here, I don't care. Just call me, let me know, and I can work with Allison, and we'll figure out how to get it all
Figure it
together
out.
for you. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
great. That's great information.
Part of Europe. It's part of traveling in and around Europe. And
Yes.
then one thing that we emphasize, again, it's not just about the main cities. As you can see in our presentation, it's going into these smaller destinations, going into these smaller cities, and we can customize that. It's not always front and center of what you will find online. So we can suggest, some of these smaller areas that, again, enhances the whole travel experience.
Yeah. And then lastly, what we're seeing on our side, some trending destinations have been Norway and the Lapland. So a lot of the cooler destinations is seeing a lot of traction these days. Slovenia, we talk about that as a duplicate destination. The Baltics alongside Poland. And even south of Finland, that whole cluster of the Baltic area is seeing some great traction. We've seen some activities from the tourism boards that they're marketing now towards North Americans. We're seeing that a lot. And Bulgaria.
Bulgaria is another area. I mean, the whole Balkan region, Croatia, Slovenia, Montenegro, Albania, and Bulgaria. So, I mean, it's booming. We're always trying to sort of be on the precipice of what's to come, and I mean, try and work with our partners and see if we can get good product out there.
Yeah, and then just lastly, just to cap this off, this is a Europe presentation, but we do the world. The model that you've seen today and how we can customize stuff applies to the whole world. And actually, in particular, we're quite strong in Australia because that's where the company started. Our owner is actually Australian, and we've got some great relationships there. And that's where GoWay really grew out from. So we've got the whole world under our belt as well.
I have a question that was dropped in the question box if you want to address, and I can help address as well. But they're asking about the low water levels on the Danube and if the Christmas markets will be affected. I do not believe that they will. I think I'm pretty confident. I'm quite confident that everything will be in order by then. But yes, so this is unprecedented things that we've been seeing in the last
Yeah.
few weeks. My son actually just got married, and him and his
Oh,
new
congrats.
wife. Thank you, very sweet. But they did a Danube cruise, and like you were just saying, Mark, I mean, it was so hot. You know, talking about going off season, it was so hot for them. But they lucked out that they were able to do the whole sailing, and now the water levels are critically low. But I do think that they will recover once the fall comes and the rains come. It should be fine.
I think so as well. It's something that we're looking, even though we don't do a lot of river cruising, it's something that we're looking at because you don't know what's going to happen with those rivers. A lot of activities are reliant
Right.
on the flow of the Rhine and the Danube.
I think the Rhine and the Danube, I think those rivers are one of the ones that not guaranteed water levels, but there are some other smaller rivers
Yeah.
that
Yes.
that's yeah, and it's almost like the same concept of like ski resorts, where there are some ski resorts in France and the Alps that are guaranteed good snow, and then there are others that are not. So yeah, it's something to look out for that we have to be diligent and yeah,
Yeah,
great
that's a
question.
good.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I really loved this partnership too, Sally, and how we can continue to work together because like your passion for the Christmas markets and your knowledge and starting this group, I think it's a really great pairing to take because you honestly, I've learned from you, Sally, about these Christmas markets because
Yeah.
you're in it, and I was seeing some of the chatter on the Facebook group, people saying, how does this itinerary look and everything like that. So I think there's a really good connection there of how we can help, even assess these itineraries and bring more inspiration and you build off of what this amazing community that you've already created, which I'm just like blown away about this group here. I know
big.
it just blew up out overnight, right?
So big. And you're right. I'm so excited that we met. And, for the people in the group that don't know, being in the travel industry and having relationships with companies like you, it makes everything so much more. You could just call me and we can get it together and be able to speak to people like Mark and Risa and Allison and get all of your questions answered. And it's so important that we have these relationships. And I thank you so much for coming in and doing such a beautiful presentation for everyone.
Yeah, and
Thank you for giving us
having
the
fun.
opportunity to speak, Sally. We really appreciate it. But that's it for us. We don't have any more slides. But if there's no other questions, I think that's all our slides.
Yeah, I don't see any more questions. People are asking for the recording, and I will absolutely drop that in the group. I'll probably put it in the newsletter, so sign up for that if you're not already signed up for that, or reach out to me directly, and I will get that over to you. And again, we have a new website dedicated. I'm so excited about this one. And it's funny, Mark, you talk about GoWay. It's hard to put everything in one website because there's so many options, but we're trying. And that is www.magicalchristmasmarkets.com. And hopefully I can get this recording up on there as well.
I had a
Awesome.
quick question to
Amazing.
kind of close us out too. Sally, Mark, and Risa, when you're looking to start planning your, let's say, since this is a Christmas market group, right? Your Christmas market trip, when would you say is like the best time to start getting those plans in and book? Because,
Well, that's a good
if you're
question,
looking to go this year, maybe you need to get on it, right? So,
Yeah, for this year, you could still do it. You can absolutely
Yeah.
still do it. But yes, I would start doing it quite
Now.
soon. The hotels fill up. You want to get the best airfare, so booking early is good for that as well.
Yeah.
River cruises are sold, there's only maybe 200 people on these ships and even less. So those sell out a year and a half to 2 years in advance. But that's
wow.
another great way to go with GoWay because now if you are a last minute Annie, you can put it all together and still craft a perfect journey for you.
I would say, yeah, spot on, Sally. I think for us, when you hover within that 6 months range, like that becomes super tricky to get your ideal hotels that
Right.
you want. Yeah.
All
Awesome.
right. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm so excited about this. I'm excited to continue to partner with you and your group. And
Absolutely.
yeah, thanks, everyone, for your time. I'm going to
Thank
stop the
you.
recording.
Yeah.
What a
Thanks,
nice
Sally.
day. Thanks,
It was
guys.
nice
Thank
meeting
you, Sally. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Allison.
Bye,
Bye.
Sally.